Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. It was supposed to be an ordinary Saturday evening, one of those quiet nights when the aroma of dinner lingers, soft music hums in the background, and the world feels comfortably familiar. But that night everything shifted. I had left work earlier than usual, a rare occurrence, but I didn't think much of it. When I arrived, the apartment door was slightly open. At first I thought I had left it that way, but then I heard faint voices, soft, hushed, unmistakable. And the perfume I once adored, the one that had always felt like home, now struck me as alien. I pushed the door fully open and froze. There they were, her and him entwined on the couch, the intimacy meant for me displayed so openly. My chest tightened, and the world seemed to go silent except for my own ragged breathing. I could see everything, every whispered touch, every betrayal. For a moment I couldn't move, couldn't speak. They didn't even notice me. Then without a word I turned and left. No shouting. No accusations. No dramatic scene. I simply walked away, leaving behind a life I had thought was mine. I moved to another city, found a new apartment, and began again. By morning, divorce papers were filed. I erased her from my life. Phone numbers, social media, every memory. The hardest part wasn't the quiet. It was realizing the love I believed in had vanished. Time, as it always does, softened the edges. The first months were unbearable, questions, anger, and heartache keeping me awake. I replayed every promise, every moment we shared, searching for answers that weren't there. Slowly, the days stretched into weeks, months, and eventually a year. The pain faded like it belonged to someone else. I threw myself into work, discovered new passions, and tried to fill the emptiness she left. I believed I was healing, but deep down, a small part of me still wondered, what if? I never expected her to return. I didn't want her to. But one evening as I walked home, I saw her standing under the street lamp outside my building. She seemed smaller somehow, fragile, unlike the woman I had once known. My instincts told me to keep walking, but she called softly, "Hey, I've been looking for you." Her voice, familiar yet foreign, pulled memories I thought were buried straight to the surface. I paused. I didn't respond. My first instinct was to leave her in the past, where she belonged. But something inside me compelled me to listen. She waited, silently urging me to decide how to face this moment. I finally spoke, my voice steady but cautious. "What do you want?" "I need to explain," she said, trembling. "I messed up. I have to tell you why." I didn't know what she could possibly say. Her choice had already been made, and so had mine. Yet a part of me wanted to hear her out, to understand, even if it couldn't change anything. We ended up at a small cafe we once frequented together. She looked different now. The person across from me was not the woman I had loved. "I made a mistake," she whispered, voice barely audible. "I thought I could have everything, him, you, but I was wrong. I see that now." I remained silent, letting her speak. The regret in her eyes was deep, raw, not the shallow remorse I had imagined. "I thought I could have it all," she continued, hands shaking. "But I couldn't. And now I've lost everything. I've lost you." I wanted to scream, to demand she feel the weight of her betrayal. But all I felt was exhaustion, tired of lies, tired of heartbreak. She asked for forgiveness, but I wasn't sure she earned it. "I don't deserve your forgiveness," she said, wiping a tear. "But I need you to know I miss you. I miss us." For a fleeting moment I almost believed her. Almost. I studied the woman before me, once my everything. "Why now?" I asked quietly. She hesitated, searching for words. "Because my new life, it failed. I thought I could find happiness elsewhere, but I couldn't. I realize now what I lost with you." Her words hung between us, heavy and final. I had heard apologies before, promises, regrets, but nothing could erase what had happened. "You made your choice," I said softly. "And so did I." Her eyes widened in surprise. "I know," she whispered. "But I didn't understand. When you're broken, you can't just pick up the pieces as if nothing happened." I stood looking at her one last time. I wasn't the same person I had been. I couldn't let her back into my life, not after the lies, not after the betrayal. She grabbed my sleeve. "Please. I've changed. I've learned." I faced her fully, seeing the broken, regretful woman she had become. But she wasn't the person I once loved, not to me. "Take care of yourself," I said calmly. "I'm not your backup plan." I walked away, leaving her, and the past, behind for good. She hadn't returned out of love, she returned out of loss. And I had to accept that. As I left the cafe and walked into the night, a strange sense of peace settled over me. A year of burden, of anger and pain finally lifted. I wasn't bitter anymore. I had learned to love myself again, and sometimes, that is the truest form of forgiveness. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.